You may have heard the term quiet quitting or working softly, and it is something that costs US companies millions of dollars a year. Today, I'm going to share what that term means, how it impacts your company, and how to proactively turn it around. I'm going to share 5 keys for what you can do to engage your employees so they are working in a way that they are engaged, giving their all, and impacting the culture and the team and the bottom line in a positive way. The term quiet quitting, or as you may have heard, working softly, means that the employee is not engaged in the work that they're doing. And this type of work comes with a certain attitude. It comes with an attitude of, whatever, I'm just doing this to get by. And it impacts the rest of the team and the team's morale. Our emotions are like sponges, and we can pick up on each other's emotions. And when others are positive, we catch that, and it's just energizing and exciting. And when others are negative and complaining a lot, it does bring us down and we feel it. And so someone who is unhappy in their role and is quiet quitting or working softly not only is not bringing the best results for their role, but they're impacting other people in the organization. Now, we don't always find out what's wrong until the exit interview when the employee has already quit and we ask questions about what can the company do better, what suggestions do they have, and by then it's way too late. What I'm recommending is to ask questions while the employee is still here. This is called stay interviews, and it really revolves around asking employees why they choose to stay in this organization. And it's a very appreciative inquiry kind of approach to learn what is really going well, what do they think that you should continue doing, and what are some suggestions they have to make things better. So along the vein of stay interviews, the 5 steps I'm going to share with you about what to do about employees who you think are quietly quitting. Does the employee know what is expected of them? Not just in the overall role that they are in, but specifically in terms of the results that are expected of them each month, each quarter, each year. Is there a clarity of that? Oftentimes, employees aren't quite sure and they're doing their best, but they're not reaching their targets because there's not a lot of clarity on what they are and how to do it. The second thing to ask employees who you think might be quietly quitting is, do you have the resources and the tools that you need to do your best work? Oftentimes, employees may have mentioned that they need a certain resource or tool, and then if they heard a no, they just decided to go on without it, and it might be impacting their work negatively. Also, a lot of times employees are filling in for others, and something that was supposed to be filling in for someone's role for a month or so has turned into 6 months. And these types of employees may be getting burned out because they don't know where to focus and they really want to do a good job, but there's not enough resources for them to do it. So it would be important to find out why they are not doing their best work and how you could support them. The third question that you could learn is if the employee feels isolated. A lot of people who work virtually and have come onto the organization in this way, they don't always have ways to connect with others. And one of the things that's challenging when we're doing our work is if we don't feel a bond with our colleagues. It's important to ensure that employees feel connected to one another, regardless of the type of approach you have at this moment, whether you're in person, whether it's hybrid, or whether you're fully virtual. And oftentimes, employees can't even articulate that that's what's missing for them. And when you start asking some questions to understand how they're doing, that may be something that comes up, and together perhaps you can come up with some solutions for how they could become more connected. The fourth question to ask employees who you think might be quietly quitting is, are they clear on the direction of the organization? Are they clear on the strategies? A lot of times they are not, and that is something I hear a lot in my culture assessment interviews, that people will say, we don't really know what direction we're going in. We were told one thing in the beginning of the year, and then things keep changing, and it's just confusing for us. So make sure the employee understands that. And as you have a series of these conversations, you may see some themes that emerge that help you see, oh, I don't know if people really do understand the direction. What can we do about that? And the last thing, the fifth question to ask employees who you think might be quietly quitting is, how are we doing? Be open enough to ask for feedback, to ask for what is going well, what are the strengths of the organization and the team, and what are suggestions for what we could be doing better. Now, it takes some courage and bravery to be able to ask these questions, because there are times you may not like what you hear, but guess what? You now have tools and resources to create a shift that would make the environment better, not just for this person, but for other people. And the more clarity you have on the organization and the strengths and what could be better, the more opportunity you have to create those improvements and make a better culture where people are motivated, doing their best work, and working with passion. Here's to being unstoppable and creating an organization where employees are motivated and driven and giving their all, and they are happy to stay with you. A powerful culture starts with you.